Hi everybody, whoo! The live stream! The live stream, we're really live, and that means that lots of things can be tricky. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're not sure that we're connected to NAMM or not, but we are connected to YouTube and to Facebook. And if we're not able to connect to NAMM, we're gonna request that we get another time slot with them. Whew, so happy to be here with you today to represent We Play Well Together, who is the exclusive US, North American, actually, distributor for FEELTONE instruments, as well as for Hokema Kalimbas and metal sounds, tongue drums. So today we are going to focus on FEELTONE, and it's a company that I've been so honored to have a partnership with for 10 years now. FEELTONE started actually in 1982, so they're almost 40 years old, and they're based in northern Germany in Pulau, which is almost to the North Sea. So Ingo Böhme is the founder and CEO of FEELTONE. Hi Ingo, if you're watching us today. And he shared with me a little bit about his story, so I'm going to share that with you first and then demonstrate some of the instruments. So to start with, they started making tongue drums, which is an instrument that you find in many different cultures all over the world. There are versions found in Mexico, in Mesoamerica, and Africa, and it is a wooden instrument where there are slits that are beautifully carved out of the instrument, and that create these beautiful tones. So as Ingo Böhme related it to me, when he was young, he wanted desperately to study piano, and he asked his parents if he could, and they finally said yes. And when he finally took piano lessons, he was very much disappointed because it was all about the right or the wrong notes, and every time he hit a wrong note it was like, 9, that's not the right note. And so he went away from music for many years, and it was years later as an adult that he discovered these intuitive instruments where there are no wrong notes. Anyone can pick them up and anyone can play beautiful music. So you can be a non-trained musician, you can be a child even, and make beautiful music. And you can be an accomplished musician. Percussionists can just wail on these. We have a lot of YouTube videos with some of our artists like Kalani Das with World Drum Club, who does some amazing polyrhythmic patterns on these drums. So it's an instrument for everybody, and they're so beautiful. So Ingo started making these instruments, first these small tongue drums, which he calls this line the tinkatongs, and we have a larger one here, and they have different tones. And then they started making these large furniture pieces, so big that you can lay upon them and someone else can hit them on the side and you can feel the tone in the body. And they discovered that music therapists love these instruments because people who had had a negative experience of being in the body suddenly could have a positive experience in the body simply through sound, through vibration, that they could lay on the instrument, a practitioner could activate the tongues in the tongue drum, and they could feel the sympathetic resonance in their body. And so with the success with the music therapist community, they started to want to incorporate other kinds of instruments where you can feel the tone. And that's when they started working on the monochords. So monochords are a stringed instrument. I'm going to change my camera so that you can see my collection here from above. Let's see. Hi everybody. So this is my sound room in Upper Manhattan in New York City. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by 9 monochords. Lucky me, right, to be quarantining with such wonderful companions. So this is a concert monochord. It's a great big one. And then I have these other monochords around me, the monolina and the monolini. This one's a little out of frame. You can see this one, the little one here. and these are all tuned to different notes. So there's 5 different tunings in the FEELTONE monochord line, but you can tune them up or down a couple of half steps. So between that, you can tune them literally to any note. So I've got a C and a G monochord here, and when you have more than one, you can play them in layers. And the way that this instrument functions is that it has all of these different strings that are all tuned to the same note. So it's a drone. It stays in the same place, and it creates this endless beautiful chord. And then what is special about the FEELTONE monolinas and the monolinis and the concert monochord is it's really like a 3-in-1 instrument, in that you have the monochord, which is one single note with the strings all tuned to the same note. So in this one it's C, and then we have an octave C, and then we have the 5th, which is G. So with that 5th, the 5th is a very stable interval, and it creates the feeling of a tanpura. And on this instrument, we actually have a tanpura, where you can strum it, or pluck it rather, and you get the buzz like an Indian tanpura. So it's reminiscent of the tanpura. And then we have melody notes on top. So the way that many of them are, that they come when you purchase them, is that you have 5 notes on the top to form a pentatonic scale, and you can tune it to either a major or a minor pentatonic scale. So this is my A instrument, and I have the major pentatonic scale on the A, and then here I have an F behind me, and I have the minor pentatonic. And then you can also customize the instrument. So on this one, I have a 7-note scale, so I actually have extra bridges. And I have here what is called a Sarasvati scale, which has to do with the Sarasvati raga. So it's kind of a mix between a Mixolydian mode and a Dorian mode. It's a wonderful scale. So they're very customizable, but what makes the monochord so magical is that when you have all of these strings that are tuned to the same note, and you play them in a really repetitive, beautiful way, that the strings start to come into cohesiveness. The different notes that are tuned to the same note start to come into cohesiveness, they start to sync up, and as they sync up, not only the fundamental tone syncs up, which is the C in this case, but the overtone series starts to sync up. So the octave and the 5th and the 4th on up the harmonic series starts to sync, and then these harmonics start to separate out and become distinguishable. So these harmonics start to sing over the instrument. So it's a very simple instrument to play. Just like the tinkatongs, anyone can play these instruments, but there is an art to learning how to strum it in such a way that as a musician, you're actually getting out of the way of the instrument and allowing it to sing. So I'm going to switch my cameras here again to look at the front view here. Let's see, actually, maybe I'll keep the up one so you can see this. So I'm going to put up a little reverb, just to make it sound really juicy here. Sometimes it takes a minute or so to really get those harmonics to sing. starting to hear them. And then you can add some of the melody notes as accents. And if you have more than one monochord, you can layer them. So I'm playing this deep bass. It's on the concert monochord. And then on the concert monochord, we have some larger bridges. So this instrument is reminiscent of a koto. It's not quite a koto, but it's similar, and this one is tuned to a rolling minor pentatonic scale. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to bring my reverb down to chat a little bit more. So people ask, where is a monochord? Where does it come from? It's really a reimagining of an ancient instrument. So in all cultures all over the world, you find some version of a string, which in ancient times was usually the gut of an animal, strung over a resonating body. And that is what then turned into many different stringed instruments, from the guitar to the violin. These instruments are closer to a lyre. So in ancient Greece and in the Scandinavian countries, one finds lyre instruments. And in India, of course, the tanpura. In Japan and China, the koto or the gucheng. But this monochord family of instruments is particular because it's about feeling the tone. So in this case, I'm playing the instruments and they're on stands, but they were all actually designed to be placed on the body so that sound practitioners, music therapists can take these smaller instruments into a kindergarten, into a hospice, and place the instrument on the body, and then you're feeling that sympathetic resonance through the wood. And they're designed with this boat-like shape that they actually float on the body so that they can be placed on a variety of different bodies, small or big, curvy or straight, and the instrument rides the body kind of like a boat, and you can, as a practitioner, play that instrument on the body. You can also have people just touch the instrument or even lean up against it. And we found that in this quarantine time where many people are isolated, that these instruments, people who own these instruments, they've been such a source of comfort in that you can feel the physical touch of the instrument. You can be touched by the sound if you are longing for touch when you don't have that because of this time of isolation. So I'm going to check the chat and see if there's anything coming through here. Let's see. I think they're still working on the NAMM connection. So we're just going to hang out for a bit, but if you have any questions or comments, please type them into the chat, whether it's in Facebook or YouTube, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. So in the Scandinavian countries, they have a version of this lyre where it is a part of a bed that babies are rocked in. according to Ingo. So that's like one of the inspirations for the monochord. But the FEELTONE monochords are really their own distinctive line. So for me, I'm an experimental vocalist. What does that mean? It means that I like making noises. I'm a trained opera singer, so I can sing beautifully, but I also run classes that empower people to express themselves in a variety of different ways using their voices. And so this instrument came to me because of my vocal work, and I found that it was a wonderful companion to the vocal work that I do. Little did I know how much the monochord had to teach me. So Ingo Böhmer's wife, Martina Glaser-Böhmer, has created a wonderful set of trainings for this instrument. And it looks like we're connected to NAMM, playing more of the, okay, they're asking for me to play more of the monochord. Good, I will play more monochord then and stop the chatter. So let's put up the reverb again. Put up the reverb again. So let me just finish my train of thought though. So Martina Glaser-Böhmer has created this wonderful set of trainings for the monochord, and then she has entrusted me to be the US trainer for FEELTONE. So you can find more about that on the We Play Well Together website. So let me play some more monochord for you. Here we go. So with my collection, I am combining them all in different ways, but if you have just one, there's still all kinds of soundscapes that you can make on them. Play the big one a bit more. So for you percussionists out there, you can also play these instruments percussively. So we have mallets, chopsticks. You can use the mallets that we distribute or any mallets that you own, or Satori mallets. Monochord players who use these percussively, so they will tap it with their hands and tap the sides. I'm not a percussion player, but we have a whole lot of percussionists who use this instrument more percussively, so it's really quite versatile. I'm gonna check in with our chat again. So playing more monochord, okay, good. So what has been a wonderful thing that has happened for us this past, the past few months is that we started a real online community with the pandemic, and we have something called Monochord Monday Meetup. So once a week, monochord players, now internationally all over the world, gather together on Zoom, and it features a different member of our community every week who leads us through some kind of exercise with the monochord. And we've been amazed at how many creative different ways people have of playing the monochords, and that even myself as a trainer and training people with how Martina Glaser-Burma and Ingo Burma play the monochord, that there are all these other really unique ways that people have of playing the monochord, combining it with voice, with other instruments, with crystal bowls, with gongs, or with classical instruments, with jazz, with pop instruments. So that's been really, really wonderful. So when you come into the We Play Well Together community, you don't just get an instrument, you get people. And I think that's what really distinguishes FEELTONE in Germany and the US distributor We Play Well Together from other companies, that it's a small company. Things are made sustainably in-house with incredible customer service. So if you need a repair or if you need advice, that they're always there to share with you and to help you, and that you also get a free intro training one-on-one with a person to help you to tune the instrument. We have free meetups every week. We also have a library of free content, over 35 hours of free content to get people started. So if you're a store who distributes these instruments or sells these instruments, you can you can let folks know that you don't just get the instrument, you get people, you get a whole family. So we've got some good chat on NAMM. I can't see the NAMM, but my audio guy Todd is telling me there's some good feedback. So thanks everybody. So Todd is giving a demonstration of the Metal Sounds hand pans on Thursday. So if you like this session, be sure to check out his session. And before we go, I just want to give a shout out to Hokema, Kalimbas. We Play Well Together also distributes the Hokema Kalimba. I've got a new B17 Kalimba that has just come out. You can create whole songs on this. This is like a little keyboard in your hand. And then we also distribute Metal Sounds, makers of hand pans. So Todd's going to talk more about the hand pan, and the Zenko drums. So the Zenko drums come in a variety of different tunings, and I have a couple of exotic tunings here. I've got the Pygmy and the Omega drum here. So I'll just play a couple notes so that you can hear the Metal Sounds. Metal Sounds are made in France. So this is the Omega and the Pygmy tuning. I love different kinds of tuning. And Mark, you, the co-founder of Metal Sounds, told me that the Omega tuning was inspired by him watching Harry Potter with his kids, and he wanted to create a magical tuning. So this is a magical, mysterious tuning, and I just love it. So shout out to Metal Sounds, we love you. And coming back to the monochords, what's so awesome about the monochords is that you can tune them any way you want. So if you want to tune to 432 or 440, or alternate tuning systems, if you want to have an alternate scale on top, they're super customizable, and I change mine up all the time, so I have all of these different sounds to play with. Gosh, I think we're at the end of our time today, and there's so much more to say, but we're going to make some more videos on our YouTube channel. We Play Well Together, and myself and our different makers of the instruments are committed to putting out more content in the weeks ahead. So please follow us at We Play Well Together on Instagram. Oh, before I go, We Play Well Together is giving away instruments at NAMM. What? For real. Giving away some Kalimbas, some tongue drums, really amazing stuff. So it's an Instagram challenge. So go to the We Play Well Together page at NAMM, and there are all the details there. Basically, you're asked to make a post on Instagram saying why you want the instruments, and then we will choose some people, and we're giving away a whole lot of things. You can also find it on the giveaway page. So check that out. Super generous of Gabrielle Spiebach, who is the founder and owner of We Play Well Together. Hi, Gabrielle. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And yeah, check us out. We offer trainings, gatherings, all kinds of online stuff during the pandemic. And it's just a collection of instruments made with incredible integrity from the best makers. Thanks so much, everybody.